Our Wednesday segments. May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah, we've been talking about each week about mental health topics related to parents and children. This week, we're talking about... Hi, Doc. Happy Wednesday.
Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday.
There is such a stigma associated with mental health, and I don't know why, because if you break a leg, you go to the doctor, you get it fixed. You break your brain, you need to go to the doctor, you need to get it fixed. It's the same thing.
It is the same thing, right? What we know is that there actually is a lot of stigma around mental illness, right? And stigma is the expectation of rejection based on an aspect of identity. So examples of how stigma is perpetuated include like media depictions of a villain who has mental illness or is deranged in some way. So it refers to the societal disapproval. And when society places shame on individuals with mental illness and makes it a lot more difficult for them to seek treatment. So what we're trying to do is decrease stigma and increase help seeking.
So how do you do that? Because I think immediately people will think, I need to go get help. They're afraid to ask, and they'll internalize, oh, there's something wrong with me. Otherwise, I wouldn't need help. Or people even say, you need some help.
So that's just it. I mean, and to Scott's point, right? You break a leg, you go get it fixed. So what we need to do is say depression or substance use or severe anxiety or someone who's experienced trauma, someone who has uncontrollable mood swings. It's equally a function of, changes in neurochemicals in your brain. So it's get help and seek treatment. It's not about you're weak or immoral, because that's often the association as well.
Yeah.
I have been very honest on this show. I seek therapy. As a matter of fact, doctor, I have a team of therapists that work with me. And, I'm not even kidding. I think it's good for people to talk about the fact that they're getting help.
Absolutely. And that's what reduces stigma, is people being open about it, right? There's nothing stigmatizing about going into therapy if many people are talking about it. Or certainly we know that that's how you reduce stigma. It's, is not identifying the person with the illness. We would never say Mary is cancer, bipolar. So, it's using differences in our language. Not Sally is depression, right? So it's really looking at our language as well and how we equate things as being, attached to someone's identity or personality.
So, and here's when you know that you might need help, and again, there's nothing wrong. I think the reverse, right? If we're strong people, we're reaching out and we're going, okay, I need someone to help me with this. But you know it if it's really impacting either a couple areas of your life. Maybe it's your work, your parenting, your relationship. If it's a daily thing, you're struggling every day, you probably need some help.
And sometimes we oversimplify things, but it really, truly is. That first step is identifying it to yourself, saying to yourself, I am struggling. I have a problem. I cannot get out of bed. I have debilitating anxiety. Admitting it to yourself, I always think finding a confidant. I don't care if your confidant is your journal and you're writing it in your journal every day. But taking that first step, getting some information, knowing the facts, educating yourself about mental illness, including substance use and abuse.
And, there's another statement here that says, educate others, speak up if you hear someone use a derogatory phrase. We should definitely say something and say, hey, that's just not right.
Right. Like saying, oh, he's insane or she's something negative, pejorative, derogatory way. So it's like, don't say that. I mean, that person's dealing with depression, right? So don't take some of these words and use them in such negative, pejorative ways. So it's not just being careful of our own language. It's also going after the microaggressions of others as well.
How do you talk to your kids about this? Because sometimes you see that your kids are really struggling. I know you're a child psychologist, and they might be like, I'm not going. I don't want to go get to the school counselor, or you can't take me to counselor, because everyone will think they're normal, right?
Right. There is no normal, believe me. So in the same way that a child with a speech impediment might need to go see the speech pathologist, a child with fine motor problems might need to go see the occupational therapist, a child who's struggling with severe anxiety needs to go see the school counselor, school social worker. So it's trying to put things within a context. Lots of kids need additional help and support. This is an area where you need help and support, just like, Billy needs to go see the speech pathologist, and, Johnny needs to go see not just you.
Okay, great advice as always, Doctor. We appreciate your help. Happy Wednesday.
Happy to be here. Have a superb and safe holiday weekend.
Yeah, you too. All right, you can